It appears from deep in the mountains to warn people about upcoming disasters it has sensed with its horn. Guys, today we have a deck profile revolving around this card, the Ancient Trait Kingdra. This card is really cool because of its attack Dragon Blast, 150 damage for 2 water energies and a lightning energy. And it says discard a water energy and a lightning energy attached to this Pokemon. Now, this is a really cool card because of this, but it wouldn't be very good without this Alpha Growth ability. When you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, except with an attack ability or trainer card, you may attach 2 energy cards. So this card basically allows you to attach 2 energy cards and then at once and then get rid of 2 of them right away. So this is going to be your main attacker. So we have 3 here. And then in order to get this card, you're going to need 3 Seadras for evolution reasons and 3 Horseas. Our next card that's rather important is the Ancient Trait Swampert. You're using this for its diving search ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may search your deck for a card. Shuffle your deck, then put that card on top of it. This is really good, especially when combined with the Phantom Force's Slurpuff's ability, Tasting. And we'll be running that, and we'll get to that shortly. This card has the same ancient trait, Alpha Growth. Attach basically 2 energy cards from your hand each turn. And its Hydro Pump attack isn't bad, so if you have to, you can attack with the Swampert, but you shouldn't be doing that if things are going well for you. Alright, now in order to get that Swampert, you're going to need... Oh, also you'll be running 2 of them. Now in order to get your 2 Swamperts, you'll need 2 Marshtomps and 2 Mudkips. Now, our next Pokemon card is the Phantom Force's Slurpuff. Now, you're using this for its tasting ability. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, draw 1 more card. This is really good so that's why we have 2 of them, just for consistency. And it's helpful with diving search. So let's say you have 1 of each of these on your bench. You use Diving Search to get a card on top of your deck, and then you use Tasting to get that card out. And I just find that it's really helpful. Now in order to get your Slurpuff, you'll be wanting to run 2 Swirlixes. Alright, so that's it for all of our Pokemon cards. Now we move on to trainer cards. Maybe. Okay, anyway, our first trainer card is Silver Bangle. This, the attacks of this Pokemon this card is attached to, excluding Pokemon EX, do 30 more damage to active Pokemon EX. This is really helpful when paired with this Kingdra, because 150, you're going to be knocking out most non-EX Pokemon, but you won't quite be knocking out EX Pokemon, so that's what the Silver Bangle's for. That 30 damage makes this attack 180, and that knocks out most EX Pokemon. It won't get Megas, though. Our second card is Floatstone. You use this in case you have a Slurpuff in the active position. You don't really want one in the active position, so you get this one to get it out of there. You attach it and you retreat it for free. Max Revive. I wouldn't usually use this, but I've noticed you'll be running out of Kingdras, because only 130 HP they'll be getting knocked out, and you'll want to be able to get them back. This card is not bad, especially with Slurpuff. So you put a Pokemon from your discard pile on top of your deck with this card, and then you go and get that Pokemon in the same turn using Slurpuff's Tasting. So our next trainer card is Rare Candy. Choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from that Pokemon, put that card on the basic Pokemon. You can't use this card during your first turn or on a basic Pokemon that was put into play this turn. So this is basically a free skip stage 1 pass. You can go straight from Mudkip to Swampert or straight from Horsea to Kingdra. I find 2 is really helpful. And our next trainer card is also an evolution based one, Eebo Soda. Search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterwards. You can't use this card during your first turn or on a Pokemon that was put into play this turn. I find this to be really helpful. Just search your deck, evolve a Pokemon. So, I run 3 of them. Our next card is Dive Ball. You use this to search your deck for a water Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, not head. Don't put cards into your head. That's a bad idea. Anyway, you use this to get your water Pokemon. You run a lot of those, so 2. However, since not all of your Pokemon are water Pokemon, you're going to be wanting to get some that aren't. So, Repeat Ball. Search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as one of your Pokemon in play, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Pretty straightforward. Now, because Kingdra's attack requires you to discard 2 energy each turn, you'll be wanting to run Energy Retrieval. I recommend 3 of them. You could probably bump it up to 4, but I wouldn't go less than 3. Put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Obviously, you're throwing away energy, you'll need that energy, so this is how you go and get it back. Now, of course, if you don't have any energy in your hand or your discard pile, you'll need a Professor's Letter. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Obviously helpful. You'll be wanting to run 3. And then, in order to get cards, we'll be running 2 copies of Roller Skates, flip a coin, if heads, draw 3 cards. Alright, now on to supporter cards. Our first supporter card is Lysandre's Trump card. Each player shuffles all cards in his or her discard pile into his or her deck, except for this card. This is helpful because you'll be close to running out of cards with this deck, and this just helps you get those cards back into your deck should you find that you're about to run out. It is also helpful for getting rid of decks that rely on Pokemon that are in the discard pile. Teammates. I run one of these. You can play this card only if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterward. Obviously helpful if you need something, and you had a Pokemon get knocked out last turn. You'll, be able to get 2 cards. Our next card is Archie's Ace in the Hole. You can play this card only when it is the last card in your hand. Put a water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench and then draw 5 cards. This card is obviously quite helpful. If you're in a tight spot, only have this card, it's going to help you out. Our next supporter is Professor Birch's Observations. Shuffle your hand into your deck and flip a coin. If heads, draw 7 cards. If tails, draw 4. This is kind of like a combination between Shauna and Professor Sycamore. I like this better than Shauna and Sycamore just because it's, you can get 7, but if you might only get 4, you can replace you can replace this with Shauna or Professor Sycamore if you want, but I personally prefer Professor Birch. This is Observations. And our last supporter card is Tierno. Draw 3 cards, pretty straightforward. You don't have enough cards, play 1, get 3 more. Okay, on to stadiums. We only have 2 in this one. This one's pretty important. Training Center. Each Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon in play gets plus 30 HP. Obviously, if things are going well for you, you shouldn't have anything that's not Stage 1 or Stage 2 in play. So this is obviously a helpful card for this deck. And we'll be wanting to run a Rough Seas. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of his or her water Pokemon and lightning Pokemon. This is helpful just to get rid of damage, especially on your water Pokemon. Doesn't really help you with your main attacker because it's a dragon type, but it helps with all its pre-evolutions and with Swampert and its line. Alright, now the last thing you'll be needing are energy cards. I have 6 lightning energy cards. I find this to be enough. Powers up Kingdra's Dragon Blast. And then I've used 8 water energy cards. This is used also for Dragon Blast and for Swampert's attack, should you choose to use that instead. Thanks for watching, guys. I will put a deck list of all of these cards in the description down below. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment if you have any suggestions for improving this deck, or just tell me what you thought of the deck. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. See you next video.